was a threat to the major political parties. They had to get rid of me. They couldn't have someone like me. I was questioning things. I was calling for accountability. I was the one who exposed the multilateral agreement on investment in 1998. And when I was informed about it, you know who informed me? You, the Australian people. You bring things to my attention, and then I research it, and then I understand what's happening, what they're trying to do. And when I found out what this was going to do to us, and it was going to allow multinationals to come to Australia, bring their workers in, and it was another thing that we could not enforce for, say, a local government or anyone to buy Australian made. We couldn't discriminate. We had to allow them, and if our laws caused them to lose profits from their businesses, we had to pay them the loss of profits. Now, I spoke to a member of Parliament in Canada and said, Pauline, you're right to oppose this. We are actually opposing it. And America, he said, is it being debated in Parliament? And I said, no, it's not debated. He said, that is so wrong. You see all these treaties and these agreements that are being signed behind closed doors is done just that, behind closed doors. They're not debated in Parliament. A lot of the parliamentarians at that time, when it was released to the media about this multilateral agreement on investment, had no idea about it. They actually came to my office to get the information. Then it was debated on the floor of Parliament. A Senate inquiry was set up in May and stipulated that it was a secret agreement. They then said that these things must be discussed, but that was going to be pushed through Parliament. And that's why it's imperative. And not only that, Australians need to know about Agenda 21, the Lima Declaration, which was signed in Peru in 1976. And that was actually it's an agreement to say, well, look, Australia will do away with our industries and manufacturing, sell the raw products to third world countries, build up their industries there and buy back the finished product. Exactly what's happened. Agenda 21, read it for yourself, chapter 18. And it's about water. And they're wanting to control the water throughout the world, not in third world countries, but in Western countries, and to privatise it. England and America have privatised their water, and they're focusing here on Australia. I just had a phone call from a farmer in South Australia who's fighting this. He said, Pauline, now, he said, we have to fence our rivers and creeks and put meters on our dams. They're trying to control the water, and you have to pay a fee. What I read years ago in Agenda 21 was that if you have a dam, it can't be over a certain size, and it's all watched by satellite surveillance. And whatever water falls in the dam, you can capture 10% of it, but the rest of it must flow to the rivers and creeks. Otherwise, you have to pay a tax on it. And it's stated that you will have to fence your rivers and creeks because they don't want the cattle going down drinking the water. Or you're going to have to pay a tax on it. And once they get an asset, and that's what it's all about, collecting taxes and collecting an asset, that you will then find it will be privatised. And who knows who is going to own it then. Water is our right. It does not belong to the government. It doesn't belong to the UN. It belongs to us. It is our survival. And if we allow them to take that away from us and to tax us on water and privatise it, well, then we are fools if we're going to sit back and allow it to happen. So I'm warning people, please take an interest and look at Agenda 21. And I just heard that only yesterday a Liberal Party member was asked about Agenda 21 and he turned around and said, oh, that's just all conspiracy. It is not a conspiracy. Please understand. And this is why it's so important for me to be in Parliament, because I then can inform you.